Couple of days ago, I made a video about Windows 11 and the equally real Windows 12. Now, obviously, that was a joke video about a website I found where they were trying to promote a version of Windows that doesn't actually exist. The thing is that there is a quote-unquote new version of Windows called Windows 10X. It's coming out for the new Microsoft folding device tablet thing they're making, and it will be available at the end of 2020. In the meantime, however, there is this emulator, and I wanted to test out a couple of things in it. I personally think Windows 10X will be a failure, mostly because from what I've heard, its support for legacy applications works pretty much like a compatibility layer or something like that. It has the code from the Windows kernel in it, but it's not constantly running the Windows kernel for better battery life or something like that. Basically, what it does is that it just allows all the components it needs to run those Microsoft applications from the Microsoft Store that we all love very dearly, and only starts running all the Windows kernel stuff when it has to run a traditional application. So what I'm gonna do is download 7-zip and see if it works. As I press download, it downloads down here. The new Edge is based off Chromium, so it has this little like tab at the bottom, and pressing that, you might notice that now we have this new like menu. When you put your mouse down here, you have access to the start menu and the like Windows task view menu. Anyway, let's open up the 7-zip file, see if it actually lets me install it. Here we are, proxy app. This is what I was talking about, it running like contained version, like some kind of compatibility layer, instead of natively supporting these applications. I'm not seeing much of anything. I think that might be something to do with the emulator. I have no idea what's going on. As you can see, nothing's really loading up, which is a good sign, but it is an early release and an emulator, so I wouldn't expect it to perform excellently. I'm still finding it difficult to understand exactly who this emulator is for besides the press and developers, I guess, but like, who's gonna develop for a dual screen platform? Anyway, it's pretty obvious that 7-zip isn't gonna be installed today, so instead let's see if we can buy... oh, a fun glitch has happened. My mouse, everywhere I go, it like does a trail of things. Okay, let's try Ccan. Ccan is a really useful mod manager application for Kerbal Space Program, and it doesn't have a setup, it's just an executable. So let's see if the emulator is able to handle this. That's ccan.exe. Okay, so here is the file we were looking for. Maybe if it allows me to actually, download it. Let's go to my downloads. This is painfully slow, by the way, because I guess my computer wasn't made to emulate it, but at the same time, as you can see, going into Task Manager, it's taking up 100% of my processor, loads of memory, and disk a little bit, and internet as well for some reason, and my other GPUs for some reason. Oh, the 7-zip installer finally loaded. I thought we completely lost hope for that. Okay, so now it's installing, and let's see how it goes. There it is. It's supposedly installed. So how do we access it? I know pressing the start menu only really brings us to this. Maybe we have to go open the executable ourselves in the File Explorer. Anyway, I hate how the File Explorer now looks like the freaking search. It just looks kind of off that the File Explorer looks like the search section from Windows 10. Anyway, I mean, this device, where's my things? Where's my C drive? Where's everything? Where is anything, actually? C is blocked by default? See, this is what I hate about Microsoft and Windows generally, especially Windows 10, is that you can only do certain things with certain editions or Windows, or by editing your registry or doing things. And at least with Linux, there's no limitations, there's no like more expensive paid version, or at least there isn't for most distros, and there's nothing illegal about accessing the things that are in your operating system with Linux. It's free software. Anyway, I guess we won't be able to take a look at how this emulator handles executables. I mean, we're able to download 7-zip and I guess quote-unquote install it, but we can't actually open it because it's not in a start menu, and it obviously didn't do anything to anything else. The whole dual screen stuff works nice. Like, I press this and, my window switches from here to here. Still can't interact with it though. I think the new aesthetic that Microsoft is going for looks nice. This like colored gradiented look. The whole solid material kind of design is something I'm quite a big fan of when it comes to the Windows apps. Anyway, I said before that I think Windows 10X is going to flop, and I'll explain why. Basically, Windows 10X is very clearly a poor operating system from the point of view that it's not very professional. It feels like it's made for mobile phones that are incredibly limited and you can't do anything with it. Like, it comes out of the box and you can't access the C drive, as we've just seen. I mean, I'm pretty sure maybe if I keep messing around with it, I'll find some crazy thing I can do to edit it, but like, I press start, and as you can see, if I type in like CMD, there's no command prompt. I can't do anything. However, we do have stickies, so that's definitely good to know and not completely redundant. Maybe we can change it in settings. Maybe that's the solution to all our problems. Settings. I like the new settings icon. It looks nice. Okay, it's just like the Windows 10 settings. Let's go and see if we can find a setting about like file access. Actually, thinking about it, it's probably in apps. Okay, so that's, as you can see, the program installed, but where is it? After changing this to all apps, I guess we can install everything, but where do I get access to the 7-zip? Where is it? This is all just really confusing. I've tried to open up the Chromium Edge, and for some reason it's not opening up. I know this Windows 10X emulator is in preview, but seriously, like, nothing works. I mean, what's the point of an emulator when it's barely functional? Maybe I'm just running it on the wrong hardware. We can also change the position and situation of the little thing we're using. So for example, as you can see, I just rotated it. I can rotate the device and like see how it reacts to rotation and stuff. I can do this despite the fact it doesn't really do anything, although we do have the famous dinosaur with claws and cat from the Windows 10 developers. There's stock posers where you can, like, I don't know, flip it and it looks like this, and now it's only one device. Hinge angle, I guess that's like controls the hinge of the angle. I can see how this can be useful for developers that want to make applications on this dual screen thing, but like, what are the odds of everyone coming out with these new tablet folding devices? The only one that's like running Windows 10X is Microsoft's own one, and they've had plans to release this to laptops, but like, what are laptop users going to use this for? Why not just load up regular Windows 10 when this one has that old weird compatibility with EXEs? Do laptop users who invest this much money into a laptop, that they buy the one with the latest operating system, also don't have experience in using executables in Windows or quote-unquote legacy applications in Windows? Like, that's kind of the thing that keeps Windows afloat, is that. And from what I've seen, the fact that it's not like integrated well into the system makes them run worse. Although obviously we can't really get any good like benchmarks on this because it's, you know, not out. Anyway, I'll leave you with a dinosaur with claws and the cat and such to end this video, and I don't think Windows 10X will be successful. I think it's a really weird thing. I think it's like foldable phones and foldable, even computers are pretty cool, but making an entire version of Windows dedicated to that is not good. And even if they port it to regular laptops, that whole thing of it not being compatible with legacy applications, directly having to do that like packaging thing, that thing it did before, that might hurt performance unless they're able to improve it. So, I mean, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. And what do you think of Windows 10X? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's going to be, if Microsoft adopts it and fails, it's going to be the point when people start adopting Linux desktops? Let's hear your thoughts.